Hello, StarCraft Brood War Remastered fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another Remastered upload. Today we've got a game between Hero and Bisu here on Circuit Breakers. Got this off of the team Liquid, and let's get right on into it. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we've got the yellow Protoss player. His name is Bisu. And in the top left-hand corner, the Zerg player. Wearing the color green today, it's going to be the Zerg green player, Hero. I don't know why that went wrong. Why'd my intro go wrong? Did I mess up on the first part? Probably mess up on the first part. That's fine. We're going to keep it. We're going to keep it. Going to keep it going. So a ZVP here for you today. Had a very, very exciting cast last week. If you missed it, I'll put a link at the top right here. But yeah, every Saturday, StarCraft Remastered stuff on the channel. I know a lot of people come from across the YouTubes, not just my subscribers, to watch these. So hopefully you're entertained, hopefully you are interested, and hopefully it is a good time watching some StarCraft Remastered casting. What's cool about this is I think this was played back in 2015, which is actually prior to the release of StarCraft Remastered, but you can load old replays into the Remastered client and it spiffs it right up. Spices it right up, makes it look all shiny, and the Zerg stuff looks extra gross, and even the Zealots kind of look extra gross, but anyway, that is neither here nor there. So we're going to see some amazing ZVP action here. I know it's not Jaedong Zerg fans, but Hero is a very solid Zerg player in his own right. More than a match for Bisu. Okay, that might be overstating it. Bisu's probably the best Protoss player in StarCraft history. Somebody in the comments is going to yell at me and say that's not true. But based on the amount of views my Bisu videos get, I would assume he's just popular, if nothing else. And you can't be popular and suck. Thinks about players in the StarCraft universe who suck but are popular. Nah, you gotta be somewhat good. You gotta be decent. Gotta be decent. And if you're playing against Bisu in any capacity, you gotta be pretty darn fantastic. Probe is blocking off the attempt to expand here by Hero. Back home, the Forge is up. Gonna put some cannons protecting this Nexus that's coming up first of all, just to make sure any Ling harassment can't get much done. And the hatchery does go down here for Hero. He's got a spawning pool done here too. He is making some drones and a couple Lings as well, just to put that pressure on, just to keep Bisu honest, right? If Bisu skips the cannons or doesn't go forward, he's going to be in trouble. If he maybe just says, maybe this time Hero won't come after me, maybe I can skip it. Maybe I can get some more economy early, but no, the Lings have to come out to keep him honest. One Ling does stay behind to chase this probe around. The other three, and a drone. Actually, drone's going for a third base. That's where you're going, drone. But heading out, he's entirely blind at this point. He has no idea what Bisu was doing, but he has played enough games of StarCraft to know this is basically what is happening right now. Is this... what the... Wait. Is this what you do on Circuit Breakers? Okay, that is a gateway. That just looked really big for a minute. Look at another Nexus for some reason. But it's a gateway. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. My worldview is back and satisfied. So cannon up, and you can't get through here without taking a couple cannon shots, Ling. So you absolutely going to die. Is this probe still alive? He's taking some hits, but the shields are back up to full, which means he hasn't taken hits for a while. Oh, there's one. There is a hit. And you'll notice that Zerg units don't get a speed boost on creep here in StarCraft Remastered. So it doesn't help to try to catch this probe on the creep. All you can really do is hope for metabolic boost to come in, or get some good angles in here, come around to the top side while it gets trapped back behind the mineral line. That sort of thing. Third base is being taken by Hero close to home. Surprisingly, on Fighting Spirit at the very least, Zergs do tend to take the third base clear across the map on the opposite corner, where it gives them access to another base. But here on Circuit Breakers, this is just a nice little place to take your third. You got minerals on the top, minerals on the bottom, and a nice extractor too. So what more could you ask for as a Zerg player? Hero says nothing. I'm gonna take it here, and everything's going to be just fine. Yeah. I think this is a map that I previously thought there wasn't gas at this middle expansion, and that's why it was being bypassed by the Zerg player, but there's absolutely gas here, so no big deal. Zealot pushing out here from Bisu. Was that a Bisu? Man, there was a Bisu game that I cast, I want to say it was Bisu, where he just went mass Zealot. Just so much Zealot against his opponent, and won with that, pretty much. I mean, there were a couple Archons there too. He eventually got Storm, which was very useful, but it was just pumping Zealots. Hydras came out late. I don't think it was this game. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been Zero. Like a Zero versus Bisu, possibly. Because I don't think that the Zerg player ever got a third base up in that game, and it's definitely not these guys. So here's our Zealot, trying to get a position where he can actually kill all of these Lings without dying himself. The micro by Hero is actually pretty fantastic. Hasn't lost a single Zergling yet. Wow. And the Zealot goes down. That is a nice early victory. That's got to make you feel good. If your hero coming against Bisu is getting a nice early kill on his Zealot, not losing a single Zergling. It's not, I mean, it's not enough to win the game, obviously, but just little confidence boost. Hero is working on his Groove Spines upgrade, the range for the Hydralisks. Corsair production has begun back in the Protoss homeland. Additionally, he's got a Citadel of Adun. He's working on, well, that's ground weapons at the Forge, but probably going to get Zealot leg enhancements, just because Zealots with speed are much, much better than Zealots without speed. So the Zealot going to come in here, taking a roundabout path to try to see if he can get some stuff done. That is going to be a macro hatch. Macro hatch here at the natural for Hero. Zealot going after these juicy, delicious drones, though. Where are the Lings? The Lings are defending the third base, and the natural base is the one that's under attack. Boof. Takes down one of the drones. Other drones are forced to fight here. A Hydra does show up at just in the nick of time. Going to force that Zealot to retreat. It does take a lot of shots for a Hydra to kill a Zealot. And in a straight-up engagement here, the Zealot will kill the Hydra if there's no micro involved. So you got to kite. Also, a Corsair shows up while the Hydra is otherwise engaged. This is a fantastic timing out of Bisu right now. This poor Hydra is trying to pull double duty, trying to take down the Corsair while dealing with this Zealot in his mineral line. Corsair is going to get an Overlord before it's forced to retreat. Is the Hydra's still alive somehow? Is this Corsair just going to die? Bisu, don't lose your Corsair for nothing, man. No, he's smart. He's too smart. He headed on down to the third base to run away from the Hydralisk, but got the kill. Got the kill. Doesn't have much hull remaining, but that's okay. That's going to be just fine. Look, more Zealots. More Zealots. Oh, and Hydra's pushing out here, too. They did get some shots off on this Forge. Oh, they took down a gateway, too, while I was not paying attention. I gotta watch that mini-map. Watch the mini-map. So they have the Groove Spines upgrade, which means they can range attack fairly well. 3 Zealots coming out. Oh, a Cannon gets a nice shot off here, too. You gotta do the micro. Remember what I said about the micro? You can't just stand in there and let the Zealots hack at you from close range, because they will win. But they're not very fast, although they do have the leg enhancements upgrade based on how zippy they are right now. More and more Zealots from Bisu. He's also working on a Templar Archives. Got that macro hatch up. Going to toss down a creep colony. Is that a creep colony? It's an evolution chamber, actually. Evolution chamber here at the natural base location. Third base happily up and running. And that is a sunken colony that is morphing from a creep colony. And he's doing the same thing, man. He's trying to go for this mass Zealot thing, but just Hero got the Hydras out so much faster than the Zerg previously did. He's got Lings out here, too. He's going for a lair. He's going for a metabolic boost. This is not going to be as easy a victory for Bisu as we saw previously. Corsair flying around, but a couple Hydras at the third base location and a bunch of Hydras at the natural base location. I don't know if this Corsair wants to stick around long enough to try to kill anything. It's probably just a scouting Corsair at this point in time, recognizing the timing on that lair. He is going to see it pop. He's going to see it pop. It's close to popping. Close to popping, but not quite there yet. And here comes the yellow. Here comes just a big, big mass of Zealots. Do they have the +1 attack? I want to say they almost do. They almost do. It's on the way. And Psionic Storm being researched here too, which is just, you can't skip it if you're playing against a Zerg who's any good. And Bisu's playing against a Zerg who is good. That's all there really is to it here. Alright, so Sunken Colony plus a bunch of Hydras and Lings is a good combination to deal with this many Zealots. Coming from the top side and the bottom side here, trying to get a 360 surround on the Zealots, forcing them to deal with stuff from all angles. And this is a nice Zerg swarm right now from Hero, chasing these dudes down. Let's see if we can focus on one of them right now. Standing and fighting to kill some of the Lings while the Hydras are lagging behind a little bit there, but they are in full retreat right now, trying to head all the way back home. There are High Templar here. Psionic Storm is not quite done yet, but it's very close to being done. If the Hydras want to come in, they need to be aware that Storm is ready to go. They're trying to sneak up, maybe catch some people by surprise. Oh, picking up the Templar from a flanking position would be perfect for Hero right now, but it doesn't actually pull that one off. So, yeah, a couple Hydras. Again, if you directly engage here and let the Zealots hit you, you will die. That is lesson number 1 in Hydralisk High School. Yeah, look at him trying to pick off these High Templar, recognizing the high-value targets that they are. But no, pulling back behind the Zealots, none of them actually die. This Zealot overstepped his bounds a little bit. I don't see him surviving unless... Oh, he retreated immediately. Still almost died, though. He's already down to just a few hit points remaining. And, oh, Lurker upgrade. Lurker upgrade complete, and Lurker eggs coming up right with these Zealots hammering on him, too. Alright, we've got our Zealot Corsair High Templar army pushing up here to this natural base location, and I don't know, I kind of feel like Hero's quite well prepared for this one. Got the Lurkers morphing in. Storm on the Hydras, not killing any of them, but very, very low on energy. There's the second Storm to finish them off. Lings and Hydras versus Zealots, a pretty darn good combination. That Lurker manages to get out across the map and burrow. And still a bunch of Zealots here, man. These guys are... they're retreating now, but they did a lot of damage. A lot of Zerg blood on those steps. But the point is, Hero never actually took any damage to his economy, and that's what matters at this point in time. Corsair continuing to scout, looking for Overlords to pick off at the main base, possibly, if necessary. Queen's Nest in production here, likely for that Hive upgrade, and then the Defiler Mound, and then Dark Swarm and Lurkers and all that stuff. That is the Zerg end game condition and win condition here in StarCraft Brood War. Lurkers and Lings trying to come down. Oh, this Lurker almost manages to burrow, but the Zealots very nicely pick him out of the ground just as he's trying to get in there. Taking the third base is Bisu to the left of his main. And so far, Hero looking okay, man. Looking okay. He's down 96 to 79 total supply, but Zergs are generally a little bit lower in the army compared to their opponent, especially versus Protoss. A fully maxed out Zerg army would just be insane to have to deal with. And that's their way of balancing. That's what Blizzard's way of balancing here in the Brood War. Just making sure that Zerg units are very good, but there are never just a bajillion of them, which would be hard to handle. Working on, there's your Hive. There's your Hive upgrade. Overlords have speed now. Obviously, as we see that guy zooming across the map. Is that going to be weapons level 2 for the Zealots? Or do they already have... yeah, they got the one. That's going to be level 2. They're working on 6 Dragoons are going to join the party here. 2 Dragoons are necessary to attack those Lurkers from range. Plus, they don't take much damage from them either. I mean, they take a good amount of damage, but it's not like they instantly die like the Zealots do. Well, okay. Exaggeration. Zealots don't instantly die to the Lurkers, but it does hurt them to walk over those Lurker spines for sure. The light units struggle the most. So map control here to the Hydras, I would say. Bisu kind of hanging out by his third base. Needs to wait for this to finish and be secured before he can actually move out here. Hero is taking a fourth base. There it is. Morphing into the right of his main. So he's going to be a base up on his opponent, which is a great place to be if you're playing against Bisu. Can tell you that much. Heading on. Is he going down? No, thinking about it. He's got the range upgrade and the speed upgrade for the Hydras. Well, he's working on, actually, a missile attack level 1 upgrade, too. But he already has +1 ground carapace. Once again, thinking about trying to pick off those High Templar, but smartly retreating back. High Templar by themselves is a very, very scary thing for Protoss to see. So Lurker's burrowing in a bit of a line, spreading out so that one storm can't hit more than one of them at a time. Okay, this is more of a clump. This might be a nice target for some Messianic Storm from Bisu for sure. And actually trying to take a quick fourth base, too, down here at the south is the Bisu. So Hero has a choice. He can try to take down the fourth base and try to slow down the macro potential of Bisu, or he can take fifth base himself and just try to out-macro him. Looks like he's heading south with some Lings and some Hydras, just enough to put some fear of Zerg into Bisu. Working on Kadaran Amulet, plus 50 Templar energy. And coming in, this fourth base might be in trouble. This is a pretty big Zerg army, but the reinforcements coming across the way from Bisu should be enough to force Hero back up that ramp and say, you leave my Nexus alone. You are not allowed here. Zergy Zerg. High Templar really wants to get a storm off. Oh, doesn't get a storm off. Actually picked off one storm there, but another Templar goes down. Doesn't kill any of the Hydras. I'd say that was a win. That was a minor win for Hero. And once again, Bisu not interested in pushing out. Wants to establish his fourth base location. Can effectively let the Zerg do whatever he wants for the next couple of minutes here. And it's going to be Defilers, as I mentioned previously. It's going to be Consume. It's going to be +2 ground carapace just now starting. Unless that's +3. Oh, man, that is +3. All right, so +3 ground carapace starting for the Zerg player. I mean, this is just a lot. This is a lot of Ling Hydra. And once they get Dark Swarm, once the Defiler shows up, it's going to be even harder to deal with. I don't know if I agree with Bisu's strategy here. He's been incredibly passive. After those early attacks on the third base and the natural base, he hasn't touched the fourth base. He doesn't even know the fifth base exists right now. He's been exceptionally defensive. He's getting some shuttles, as is Bisu's wont. Gonna get some shuttles and some Reavers at some point in this game. I have to imagine the way that it's going here. Some Lings rolling on in, and what the Defiler? What are you doing here? Okay, Defiler dead. This is very strange. Is he trying to free up supply? No, it's a distraction. Oh, it's a distraction here at the third base location. Dark Swarm is up. Lurkers are here. Lings are here too. Nice storm on the Lurkers and some of the Hydralisks. But I think that Templar is out of energy, and in fact it is. Some Zealots absolutely clearing that thing out. Their melee attack is enough to get through the Dark Swarm. And man, beautiful Psionic Storms. Very, very nice Dark Swarms. But again, the Zealots are a great answer to this. The Zealots don't care about your Dark Swarm at all. Defiler gets taken down inside the Dark Swarm, and the third base does end up standing. A couple cannons die, and a couple units die there too, but the base lives. A lot of the workers are surviving too, and that's exactly what you want. Hero coming right back on in once again. Just, wow, just pouring on the macro right now, bringing in the Overlords. Storm everywhere right now. So much storm. Oh my gosh, the Dark Swarm's up. Swarm's inside the Dark Swarm. Lings on top of Dragoons is not what you want to see. If you happen to be Bisu right now, he's going to pull back at the number of Lings that are present. Try to pull back to the third base location. Make something happen here where there's no Dark Swarm. You're going to try to storm is the question. The High Templar can't really storm without getting his own guys, and they handled it. They handled it well. Nice storm on the high ground. Lurker trying to get some stuff done. Not enough energy. I guess the High Templar was trying to do something there. But once again, Bisu manages to hold here at his third base location. Lurkers getting killed by these Zealots. They're just putting in work. The Zealots are putting in work, man. If it weren't for them, Bisu would be dead. He needed that melee attack. He needed the melee blades, the side blades of those guys to make something happen. Another attack into the fourth base location. They just take down cannons so fast. These Lings and these Hydras do. No Defiler support, though, once again. So cannons getting killed. The Lings are going to clear out some of these probes while the Hydras deal with the main force of Dragoons up north here. A bit of an attack of Zealots up to the north base. This fifth base location of Hero, a bad time for a drone transfer. Can tell you that much. And meanwhile, a combination of Storm and Dragoons and Zealots going to clear this thing out. Hero not able to take out the base once again, although it is bleeding. And the Zealots cleaned out at the north base here too. This fifth base location of Hero finally taken down, but I feel like a lot of drones went down there too. And some probes got killed at the southern base. So polar opposites, man. Polar opposites seeing all of the action. Gravitic Drive being researched. Storm Drop. Actually, the drones already got pulled. And the High Templar got picked off. Wow, that was a win by Hero. That is something you want to do. If you see a Storm Drop coming, if you can pick off the Templar and not lose any drones, that is a major victory. Putting the workers back on the gas, putting the workers back on the minerals here at the third base location. Still a lot of minerals. Still a very, very large amount of minerals present. Small group of Hydras and Lings and a Lurker might have caught those Zealots as they were heading north here. But these Lings might know what they're on about. Just enough to slow down the Zealots long enough to where an army that can actually handle them will show up. Yeah, Ling versus Zealot, man. Look at this engagement. The Zealots are just tearing through them, but it's keeping them from killing drones. And that's all that really matters right now. Hydra's showing up. Enough Lings showing up to overwhelm the Zealots, and the Zealots do finally go down. Bisu taking a fifth base location along this left side here too, so a fifth base of his own a little bit behind the Zerg players, but that's totally just fine. And just kind of hanging out in the middle here are a lot of these guys. +3, +2 on the Zerglings. Do they have the Crackling upgrade yet? I don't quite know. Storm on all of these Hydralisks. Plague being tossed down on the Zealots, and that's actually a big deal. Plague against Protoss, again, does permanent damage that they can never get back. Brings them down to about 50 HP, depending on the unit. Archons, way more than 50 HP remaining because they are mostly shields and not very much hull at all. But Zealots, Dragoons, Corsairs, High Templar, all these things really hurt when they get plagued upon. All right, Bisu, is he going to move out? He is just defending. He's kept his bases alive to this point, which is not easy to do when there's Dark Swarm, Ling, Hydra, Lurker stuff coming your way. But Bisu's been doing this long enough that he's just fine. Shuttle, this is probably going to be another High Templar drop. Going to come up to the fifth base location. Actually, just Zealots. Oh, and a High Templar. Oh, the storm on these. Oh, the drones as they try to retreat. That was beautiful by Bisu, recognizing the drones to try to retreat, storming them as they try to run. Just brute forcing his way from the north right now, though, is his Hero. Ling's on top of these Archons, not where you want to be, but absorbing the shots, allowing the Hydras to do the work here. This fifth base is actually in a lot of trouble right now. Ling's on top of the Dragoons. The final Archon does get picked off here. This base might actually just end up dead. I don't see where the army is that's going to stop this thing from happening. Lurkers down. Observers forced to retreat. And yes, just pulling back the Zealots, recognizing it was a lost cause. The base does end up falling here, and suddenly Bisu on 4 bases compared to the 5 bases for his Zerg opponent. And yes, he's done some work here in the north at this 5th base. Another storm, several more drones going down. This guy's somehow surviving. The AoE pattern of where that storm goes is sometimes a little bit hard to intuit. But Bisu knows what's up. Bisu knows what he's doing. Okay, so is he going to replant this one? I don't know. There's lurkers killing any probes that want to get that 5th base back. There are Reavers out, as we've seen from Bisu before. Spire on the way here from the Zerg player in production. Got ourselves missile attack upgrade, melee attack upgrade, just making sure his Lings and his Hydras and his Lurkers are as upgraded and doing as much damage as possible. Oh, High Templar out here. Yes, they're getting some beautiful storms off, but will they get picked off by these Lings? Wow, losing a couple of them. A third one goes down there too. So beautiful storms. A lot of Zerg died, but taking out those Templar I think was worth it for Hero. I really believe it. Is this more drops? This more attempted drops here. Zealot's doing a lot of work actually at the 3rd base location. And these shuttles are just putting in work for Bisu. It's really not even a question. They are so fast with that gravitic drive upgrade. Just flying around. Those no Scourge to take them down. Oh, but Hydras, if they get lucky, can pick one off. Here's another one back at the 5th base location. And Storm Drop's trying to Storm Drop. Actually trying to maybe attack the guy. Well, either way, the drones retreated. I don't know if the Templar had enough energy to do that. That might have been a feint. That might have been a very nice bluff from Bisu. All right, how much energy you guys have? Enough for a storm. All right, maybe it's not a feint after all, but taking some shots from Hydra is not what you want to do if you happen to be a shuttle pilot. Gonna drop in the main? That seems a little bit gutsy. Entirely possible, but this is actually buying some time here. I feel like Hero should be pushing his advantage, but I guess as long as this base isn't replanted by Bisu, then he doesn't have to necessarily worry about pushing an advantage, just continuing to macro up. He's going to have more income, he's going to have more units, and so many cracklings. Look at these guys. Look at them. +3, +3, plus the adrenal glands upgrade. That is serious business. Serious business with those Lings. Shuttle. Oh, the Scourge. Here we go. This is the problem for the Shuttle, is the Scourge are going to chase him down. Little teeny tiny bit faster than Shuttles, even with the gravitic drive upgrade. There's zippy, but not quite zippy enough. Where can he go to live? Oh, nope. There was no answer. He just gave up on life, man. He just stopped and let the Scourge catch up with him. More Reavers, which are just beautiful against Lings and Hydras. That splash damage on the ground is brutal. It's 100 damage per shot, even before upgrades. And I'm pretty sure we've got upgrades on this guy. Yeah. Well, no, 100 damage. Do they benefit? Maybe it's just 100. Either way, Plague goes down once again on an Archon. Not exactly problematic. Beautiful storms try to come at him from both directions here as Hero, but the storm's covering both of it. Lurkers burrowing in, trying to get rid of these Zealots. Nice Reaver shots, nice Dragoon shots on the Lurkers. So many Lurkers have died in this game right now. That was a beautiful hold from Bisu. Overlord somehow survives way longer than I thought it should, but replanting his 5th base right now. Is the Bisu, can he do it? Is the question of the day. Bunch of Lings here from Hero, trying to sneak in and kill something. Not even bothering with Dark Swarm, honestly. Yeah, Cracklings versus Cannons is not even fair, is what it's not. Cannons go down so fast to fully upgraded Lings. And this base is in a lot of trouble right now. These guys should have probably gotten out of here sometime soon. High Templar dies. Nexus does end up falling to the Cracklings, and the Archons should be enough to clean this up, especially with the support of these Zealots. But Storm, why not Storm them if you can? And then clean up the remnant there. So small group of Hydras and Lings, but there are 2 Reavers present. And storming that group. What's the Defiler up to? No Hero. Gotta defile something, man. Storm Drop up here at the 4th base location. The Storm Drops have been pretty consistent throughout this game. Defiler, Burrow, run something. I guess it doesn't matter. There's an observer there. Wow. I don't know where Hero's attention was, but again, it's Brood War. It's a lot of stuff happening at all times. You don't have as many little macro-friendly mechanics as StarCraft 2 has. So you got to be watching stuff back home a lot more often. All right. I mean, just consistently making stuff. Hero is just crushing it with Hydralisks, with Lings. Trying to come from the top side here and kill some stuff too, but I guess a single Zealot, making sure there's not going to be a 7th base he doesn't know about in the top right-hand corner. But he's dead now, so that is a blind spot. Once again, Hydra's coming from the high ground. Beautiful storms, though. Storms are just a Protoss' best friend. There's no question about that. Zealots finishing off the weakened Hydralisks. Nope, they retreat. They've got good speed, they're retreating out of there, maybe trying to bring in some Zergling reinforcements or something along those lines. I just cannot believe how on the back foot Bisu has been throughout this game. Heroes kept him pinned for the most part with his army pinned at home. Bisu's been able to get some nice shuttle drops down, some Zealots and my Templar Storm, but I just feel like this can't end well. Honestly, there's your Dark Swarm drop here with the Hydras and the Lings coming right on top. Another beautiful Storm. Scourge flying into the Storm and dying there too. Storm trying to clean this stuff up. Archons trying to get rid of the things, but the Zealots, a big-time problem there. Defiler under the cloud. Is this base going to die again? Can Bisu withstand losing his 6th base, or 5th base rather, again, right? Or 5th base. Again, it is very low, actually tossing down a random plague upon these probes, which is very interesting. Defiler just kind of hanging out. What are you attacking? Oh, that Lurker. Trying to get that Lurker, but can't do it. Can't do it. Dark Swarm really good. More Lings rolling in. It's 131 to 90 total supply right now. That Nexus is going to fall. I really don't see anything saving it. Unless the Lings decide to go after the probes instead, which they are. And that's a fair choice. And then finish off the Nexus. Oh, can they get it? I don't know. It's gonna survive. At least temporarily, but guess what's here? Another wave of Lings. I just kind of feel like maybe they just sacrificed themselves to take out this Nexus. It is so low. So low on HP right now. 159 hull HP, 212 shields, and yes, going up. But is it going to be enough here? Lings catching a small group of Zealots here. Oh, Storm does do friendly damage. A Dark Templar in the mix. Are there any Overlords nearby? No. DT out for Bisu, but I think he's going to lose his 3rd base. Again, there's no probes here. Anyway, Pylons going down. Not supply blocking Bisu, mind you. But annoying nevertheless. Nexus does end up falling. Another group of Lings trying to roll on in. Perhaps while everybody else is distracted, they say, we can kill this Nexus. They can. They can if they want to, and there it does. It does end up going down. And suddenly down to 3 bases here is the Bisu. Another attempt of shuttles going into the north and the 5th base, but nope, Scourge taking that one down. Another attempt. What was that? I guess a Lurker or a Zealot might have dropped, and that Lurker took care of it. Yeah, trying to replant this. Not even actually throwing up a Nexus right now. Does he have the money for it? He doesn't have the money for another Nexus. It's just cannons. It's just cannons and long-distance mining right now. This is a very tenuous position to be in if you happen to be Hero. Coming on down. More Ling, more Hydra, more Defiler. Bringing Overlords, this time for the detection for the Dark Templar. And he's just been sitting on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. 5 bases for a while now. Big attack coming along this right side. Lings in the front, Hydras in the back. Sure, there are cannons, but as I previously mentioned, they're utterly useless. He's going to lose this base. I don't see how he saves it. Another engagement over here. Storm cleaning it up, but Ling's getting on top of the High Templar, trying to take down an Archon. Not going to happen. But this attack is going completely unchecked. Robotics facility is going to die. Nexus goes down. Gateway going to fall here too. Once you have Lings inside your production facilities, that's going to be it. And that's a good game from Bisu. Bisu taps out. And Hero is your winner in 28 minutes and 13 seconds. Ugh. A 30-minute ZVP featuring the Bisu, and Bisu ends up going down. Wow. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, Hero's Dark Swarm usage wasn't as consistently good as I would expect it to be, but Bisu was ready, man. He had those Zealots. He had the Zealots ready to get under that swarm and do the dirty work necessary to clear out that Zerg swarm. I mean, Lurkers were dying, Lings were dying, Hydras were dying. I guess the Dark Swarm wasn't as important, but consistent multi-pronged attacks here. Yes, Hero's shuttle attacks were good, or rather Bisu's shuttle attacks were good, but the larger scale attacks on bases consistently killing Nexuses is what really made it work for Hero in the end. So let's check out our stats screen as we do by tradition here. I guess total units. This is points. I really don't know how they total these. I've never understood how they total them. APM average of 315 for Bisu and 350 for Hero. Total score 21,000 and 22,000. Pretty close. I mean, honestly, it was. Units produced, we're looking at 300 for Bisu, killing 731, which once again means everybody that was produced by Bisu got 2 kills on average, which is nice. That's how you want to see. Hero produced 908 and killed 264, which means on average, you didn't kill anybody. If you were made by Hero in this game, lost 750 of them. Structures is always weird when there's a Zerg involved, but raising 40 structures is pretty good if you're a Zerg player. And then resources, it looks like Bisu actually mined more gas than Hero did, but spent a little bit less and mined fewer minerals. Oh, all right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.